by one possession. He didn't get the ball back, and he didn't fumble that ball. It's not all on Josh Allen, but he's got to eat some of it. Joe Burrow feels like he's back, doesn't he?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easy. That's why you can never count out the Bengals if that dude is playing. They offensively, they're clicking. Defensively, they're rounding into form, and it's that dude. When you got the second best quarterback in the league, you can relax early in the season when you're 1-3.
I'm going to give you numbers on Joe Burrow. 31 for 44, 348, and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Josh Allen wasn't horrible. 258, 1-1. He wasn't great. He wasn't horrible. They did have the big fumble. And Dalton Kincaid fumble was I thought was a big deal. But we're going to get into winners and losers. When you walk away from yesterday's, and again, some big games yesterday, so some big clashes. Aside from understanding that C.J. Stroud is the winner of this draft, yeah. I mean, holy smokes, good for them, right? What are your impressions out of yesterday? You can go.
I was not watching that game live, but I noticed the person I was playing in fantasy
going bonkers.
Oh my goodness! I was dominated. Then I looked down, like, where'd these 30 points come from?
Yeah, and they're not done yet.
Yeah, exactly, and they're not done yet. Yeah, that guy's amazing.
Yeah,
he's a guy, man.
And he's smooth and he's cool. Look, Tampa Bay scored late in that game. Was it 47 seconds? Is that what the number was? And he got the ball back, and I don't believe they had timeouts. And he marched him down the field. He threw for 470 yards. That is a rookie record in the National Football League. No rookie quarterback, none of them. Pick your best, pick your favorite, pick your greatest. None of them have thrown for 470 yards in the game as a rookie. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. I think he's 14-1 touchdown interception ratio. Winner. I mean, can we declare him Rookie of the Year now?
Yeah, because Puka Nacua doesn't have anyone to throw him the football.
He's got Brett Rippon to throw him the football.
They don't know what to do with Bijan Robinson.
That was brutal. I you know what, man? I almost said, you know what it feels like? You watch your team, you know they don't have a chance, and I'm like, well, who am I talking to? Of course, you guys know. So I'm mired in your misery, but it's they've got weapons, and you just, goodness gracious, the Rams are. Can we get Matthew Stafford back healthy, please? Please, because that's just a tough watch. I think it's bad for the product.
Ooh, it was, yes.
No, honestly, who had a worse quarter?
Because you come out of that game if you're Green Bay and you're like, did we really?
Yeah, you did.
Learn anything? Did we really get better?
You won. You won a game. You won a game.
Is Jordan Love that guy? No, but at least he's not Brett Rippon.
Yeah, you won. Outside of Danny DeVito or Richard, what's DeVito's name?
Tommy
DeVito, whatever. Sorry, that's not fair, whatever. Outside of Tommy DeVito, was there a worse quarterback performance than Brett Rippon yesterday?
Nope, not at all. Let's look at some of the highlights.
I mean, I'm looking through it. I mean, your guy in Chicago turns the ball over a bit, but Tyson Bagent threw for 2 touchdowns.
Brett Rippon went 3 straight drives without a completion in the first half. He completed 13 of 28 passes for 130 yards and an interception. It was a game in which the Rams opened the second half with 2 takeaways and did not score points off either. Brett Rippon, everyone.
By the way, you know who the other 2 well, they had Stetson Bennett, right? And he was dismissed for like personal reasons. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you know who the backup quarterback was yesterday for the Rams?
The backup to the backup of the backup.
Because we're playing like Clayton Tune quarterback roulette, Clayton Tune and Tommy DeVito, and that's what we watched yesterday in the National Football League. But yet we eat it up like it's candy because, well, it's the NFL and it's so great, and I can't not watch Clayton Tune and Tommy DeVito play. Any idea who, if Brett Rippon would have gone down, who the backup quarterback is?
I'm guessing Cooper Kupp.
You have no idea.
I'm guessing.
I mean, it's a fair guess is saying a guy named Dresser Wynn.
Ooh.
That's Dresser as where you put your clothes. Win as what the Rams don't do. Dresser Wynn. He is a rookie out of Tennessee Martin. Dresser, Dresser. Dresser. Win with an I. W-I-N, but 2 N's. N-N. Yeah. So, am I... when I look at these great coaches, and I don't care if you're Brian Dable or if you're Sean McVay or who, and especially Sean McVay. You just went through a season with Matthew Stafford hurt.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not have a reliable backup quarterback?
Thought they did.
Brett Rippon? How reliable, when he was with the Broncos, how reliable was he then?
We never really got to find out.
Yeah, you did.
I mean,
They had their Rippon game versus the Jets.
yeah, one game.
I mean, no, with all due respect, I mean, I like
to your
Brett Rippon. I'm a
question,
Mountain West guy.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Who, where are all these good backup quarterbacks?
Well, and again, totally fair question, right? Totally fair, because who's got him? Because we're watching Tommy DiNucci, or what's his name?
They missed. There was only one that was available to trade deadline. There's only one Joshua
Dobbs. Better story yesterday. Joshua Dobbs or C.J. Stroud?
Josh Dobbs.
Unbelievable story yesterday. I mean, best story maybe of the year?
Going down.
It's like you're just playing. Someone gets hurt in your pickup game. You're like, hey, you want to come join us? All
Dude
right.
shows up
What's
on
your name?
Wednesday.
Joshua? All right, come on.
Did you see him and Kevin O'Connell have that hug at the end of the game? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I heard on our radio station last week, they have no chance. Minnesota has no chance. Like, what are you talking about? No chance. They're a pretty good team. Now, I mean, Atlanta is going to rue that one. Like, that one is going to be the open wound for a long time for Atlanta. And look, nobody wants to win that division, so it doesn't matter. But when we get into biggest winners and losers, and there's this is a lot of statements, but that game plays into it. That game plays into winners and losers. What a story. Joshua Dobbs shows up in the middle of the week. They say, yeah, we're gonna start the rookie Jalen Hall from BYU. He gets hurt. Hey, so sorry, bro. I know you kind of thought you had the week off, but you're in. All right, where's that Dobbs dude? What, me? All right, draw it up in the dirt. All right, you know how you like draw it on your play. All right, you go here and you go here. And
He's like, what route are you running on this play? All right.
You know what? Never mind. I'll just run it. I'll just take it and run it. And I mean, he was terrific. What an unbelievable day Joshua Dobbs had. 505-246-0610. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock. We'll talk Lobo football. Lobo's coming off a 56-14 loss on Saturday at University Stadium to UNLV. We will get into the Aggies. Boy, Aggies, I think you're still wobbling in your shoes. They are bowl-bound, second straight year. I got a lot of numbers on what they've done and the first since, because there's a lot of them. They hold on. They beat Middle Tennessee, and they're on a 5-game win streak. We'll talk to Jerry Kill about it tomorrow. When we come back, I want to hear from you at 505-246-0610 on the NFL weekend. You're already coming in on Lobo football and Aggie football and what everything that happened over the weekend. When we come back, I'll tell you what. When we come back, I want to get into that Cowboy game. And are they really that close? The answer is on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children.
Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
Rip,
plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Hey, right about now, and like this is your routine, you might be tomorrow. Be with us tomorrow. I know you always are, but Jerry Kill, New Mexico State's head football coach, going to be with us at 7:15 tomorrow morning. Looking forward to having a conversation with him about the formality now. The Aggies are bowl eligible. They are going to a bowl game for the second time in a row, and so Jerry Kill will be with us tomorrow, and encourage you to be with us. Come on by and listen to what he has to say. JJ, on the New Mexico State stuff, going back, so October 15th of last, remember they started out 1-4?
Yeah.
They're 13-4 since then. I don't know that I kind of put that together. 13-4 since then. And again, I'm not going to get into your conversation about who they played because I already got the text this morning that says, wow, yeah, another squeaker against a 2-16. Impressive yawn. Okay. You can yawn. And
Such a weak conversation.
They're wobbling.
Such a weak conversation. Okay, and look at the other games that they won to get there.
Yep.
And the opportunity to play in a conference championship game.
And they're on track for a conference.
This isn't the NCAA tournament. You don't need strength of schedule. No one cares about your RPI. If you play for a conference championship, if you're going to a bowl game, that is the goal. There is zero in this state to say wins are not good enough when it comes to Division I football.
Let me give you
zero.
Let me give you a couple of numbers. Aggies have won 5 in a row. Do you know the last time they won 5 in a row? 1961. 5 straight conference wins. Do you know the last time that happened for New Mexico State? Never. First time ever that they've won 5 conference games in a row. 7 regular season wins for the first time since 1968. And they're going back-to-back bowl games for the first time since 1959 and 60. So that's what's going on down there, and that's why they're wobbling in their shoes. So, I mean, you can play it how you want. Bottom line is, their first year in that league, and Middle Tennessee is down this year.
Yeah. But that's a team that has a quarterback that has some of the best numbers in the conference.
Middle does, yeah.
Middle Tennessee State. Yeah. They want to try to get you into shootouts. He's a very good dual threat quarterback, and almost 7 points.
And it came down to the end, man.
And a defensive stop at the very end.
Tell me you didn't think at the end, all right, this is going to be a bad story, man. I mean, you've taken some bad losses before, and so when you've taken bad losses, you're expecting bad losses, and you're like, they're going to throw something crazy, and boom, 14-7, and now you got to go try next week at Western or the week
this
after.
This team doesn't expect those losses.
They don't. They flat out don't. And their fan base does, because my phone was going bonkers, as you can imagine. But they won, and they were 13-7 winners. Jerry will be with us tomorrow. All right, I want to get into this Cowboy thing real quick, and then we'll go to the phones, because I teased it going into the break. Cowboys lose to the Eagles 28-23, and I asked going in, are they that close? The answer to it is yes. The Cowboys are that close to the Eagles. They are. The difference to me is quarterback. Well, Jeff, Dak played way better than Hurts yesterday. Look at his numbers, 29 for 44. He threw for almost double. All that is right. And yet Hurts makes the play when it matters. And Dak feels to me, and this is, you guys can argue with me if you want, and I'll listen to it. Because Dak was good. He's just that half yard out of bounds short. That hair of a yard short of the end, right? He's really, really good, and just a touch short when it counts. And I always told you, I think there's something I always called it, right? The intangible. What is it? How do dudes just make plays, right? Well, how do they have that? It feels like Bryce Young seems to have that, or whatever. Dak is a great stats guy. He puts up good numbers. He's really good against the Rams and bad teams. And he was really good yesterday against the Eagles. And I'm not blaming the game on him. Please don't think I am. That's not where I'm going. But is he the guy that gets him over the top? And to me, that's the difference. Are they close? I think they're really close.
Yeah, this is a big missed opportunity, not just for a regular season statement, but in the division. And a chance to win on the road at Philadelphia, put yourself in position to win the NFC East. And it was a missed opportunity. They'll get the game back at home, see if they can split with the Eagles. But that's the focus for Philadelphia, for the Dallas Cowboys is, these division games sometimes get lost when you look at the overall standings, but that race is still right there for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think if you're just frustrated because it's going to be more of the same talking points if you're Dallas, exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's like they played a good football game, but they came up short. And that's what you expect from the Cowboys in the biggest games.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Lobos lose 56-14 to UNLV over the weekend. Travis, I know you want to talk about that. Good morning, Travis. You're on the Sports Animal.
Good morning, fella.
What's happening, Travis?
Listen, happy Lobo Day. Today is the happiest day. If you were a Lobo
hoop
fan,
season.
Your prayers have been answered.
It is hoop season.
It is the start. That's exactly right. We can turn the page. We can put the book of football back on the shelf where it belongs.
Easy. Football season's got a long way to go, man. Another home game. We got a bowl game in that stadium. I'm not putting – with all due respect, you can, but I'm not.
No, listen. I'm talking about Lobo football. Listen, I appreciate what you do with the New Mexico Bowl. That is a great event. There's no putting that back on the shelf. And there's a lot of work for you to do in order to put that thing on. So I'm not putting that book back on the shelf, all right? But the Lobo football book, that maybe probably a lot of fans this year have already put that book on the shelf, if I'm being quite honest. But look, Saturday I did something I have never done ever. I bet for the Aggies, put money on the Aggies, and bet against the Lobos. Like,
congratulations, I guess.
That's where we're at here, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that I don't have confidence that the Lobos will win. I don't believe that they'll compete. I don't believe that they can remain competitive in these games. They're not showing the year after year progress that you would expect to see from a rebuilding program. It's just more of the same, year after year, even if you exclude the COVID year. And we have to accept that our Lobo program, our Lobo football program, is bottom of the conference, not competitive, the doormat of Mountain West football, and it's been that way probably for almost a decade, and so what do? Probably at this point it's time to turn the page on this coach, and how I feel about him, but he is the biggest promoter of our program, of our school, of the other coaches in our program, and of this city. But the results on the field are just not there, and there's no growth towards that goal. And on Saturday, after Saturday's game, his press conference, he talked about how the recruits weren't there, how the talent wasn't there. But that's your responsibility too. I love Danny Gonzalez, but I hate to say it, but I'm not sure he's returning next year. Anyway, go Lobos. Let's get this basketball season started right. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you, Travis. Saturday was tough. Saturday was really tough. How do you respond? I mean, you've heard that before, right? That's not. Mm-hmm. We've all heard what he has to say. I think so many people feel what Danny says. He's up against decades of underinvestment in the program. There's a lot of things here. Now, these aren't excuses. They got to win. They've got to show improvement. I didn't watch it. I called that game. I mean, it was a rough one. Special teams to me was the biggest difference in this game, and we'll talk to Danny coming up at 8:00. Special teams basically took them out of having a chance to win that game. Do you feel that way?
Absolutely. The punt returns against the snapping, having a snap into the punt protectors that doesn't even get to your punter, leaves a short field. There was a moment in that game. I have to go over and do the final stats, but there was, after multiple drives well into the first half, UNLV's average starting field position was the New Mexico 32-yard line.
Let me give you
something. 12 yards away from the red zone.
Yeah, let me give you something. Their first drive was 30 yards. Their second one was 32. This is off the top of my head. I'm staring you in the eye. I'm not looking at any paper. 32-30. Then they had a 75-yard drive because the Lobos scored, and they had a touchback. And I believe the next two were 21 and 9. That was, and it might have been 9 and 21. I don't remember in what order. They didn't run their first play, UNLV, in their own territory on their side of the field until the second quarter. Special teams killed them. And you looked at them, and it wasn't broken tackles. They had Jacob DeJesus was running all over the place.
Poor coverage, and it could be. I know Danny on Saturday wasn't ready to say it, but they were out kicking their coverage.
Well, Aaron's got a big leg, but then if that's the case, then kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, or you got to sky it.
Or sky it, or for crying out loud, I mean, then change your coverage. Look, Jacob DeJesus is really good, but then they changed returners late in the game, and the dude had another 49-yard return. 16.
So it's not giving yourself
like
a chance.
Coach. 16 was
not giving yourself a chance. The things that you need to control, like be clean in these areas. New Mexico wasn't able to do that. The last two first halves, it's different when you play Nevada. Yeah, you can make a run against Nevada. You can't make a run against UNLV.
I was just asked in the kitchen getting coffee, is UNLV that good, or are the Lobos that bad? UNLV's really good. UNLV has scored 40-plus points 6 times this year. They had a real good shot. I mean, I don't know what you thought. I watched that game Saturday morning again, the UNLV versus Fresno State, as I was prepping.
Yeah,
UNLV outplayed them most of that game. UNLV is really, really good. And before you say, well, how do they do this with a first-year coach? Marcus Arroyo left him a whole lot of pieces now. Marcus Arroyo recruited a lot of guys that were there, facilities, investment. I mean, like we all the stuff that you don't want to hear.
They were not starting from scratch with this year's team.
I promise you that. We can get into it. Lobo football, Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Looking forward to talking to him. But when we come back, we'll get into the game, what happened, and where do you go from here? There's 3 left. You got to go to Boise. Then you got to go to Fresno, and then Utah State, who after beating San Diego State's got a lot to play for. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Bring it back.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go out.
Conversation with an Aggie fan who was down in Las Cruces watching the Aggies beat Middle Tennessee and get bowl eligible, and she sent me like a screenshot of the stats of the Lobo football game against UNLV this weekend, and she says, I don't get it. It doesn't look like a 56-14 stat score, and it doesn't, right? Because when you look at the basic stats, where it shows offense and that it just doesn't. You're like, how did it get to this point? And the hidden yards are all in the special team stuff, right? 200 and something yards in punt returns. UNLV passing 247 yards, UNLV rushing 160. I mean, they kind of did what they wanted to do. But JJ was special teams. The opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. So the special teams gave up, and I'm trying to find the exact numbers on the punt returns. Here it is. Jacob DeJesus had 112 yards on 2. And then D'Angelo Irvin had 49 yards on the 1. And then the fumble return that Jet Elad had down to the 9-yard line. And give Dylan Hopkins credit for chasing him down on that one.
Yeah.
Crying out loud. But that's where it was. And so special teams, I thought, killed them there. Special teams have been an issue. You go back to the Wyoming game. Lobo score on the first drive in the Wyoming game. And they got all the momentum. I was there, man. That place all of a sudden went, whoa. And Wyoming blocked the extra point, returned it. Instead of being up 7-0, it was 6-2. That's a 3-point swing, and you lose by 9, and down the stretch, it would have been a different game. Next week, you come home, San Jose State blocked a punt and returned it for a touchdown. Now, you're going to say that game got away from you. That was in the first half. Remember, they were up 17-14 in the first half. And then Saturday was just, I don't have another way to put it. And George and I were standing up there, and you stand with a former player who loves the program so much, and I know you do too, and Robert does with Don Trell, and you do with Ned. They love the program so much, and they see what's going on, and you see him come in with so much enthusiasm. And I think George Carter is so dang good, and you wouldn't know it listening to him on the air, but you could just see it after the game and during the commercial breaks. I mean, it's just killing him. Right, and when it's the same things, the special team stuff, it's killing because they care so much. You talk to Ned about it, and we're going to go to the phones, take your call. I don't know. Am I wrong on special teams? Did they get outplayed? Did Mayava do whatever he wanted? Did Ricky White get past the secondary all day long? Yeah. All that happened. But to me, special teams just kept them from being competitive.
The mistakes that happen defensively, you're still going to get those, even with the discussion of a young secondary, a relatively young defense when it comes to experience overall. Learning. When you play a UNLV, when you play a Boise State, when you play a Fresno State, they're going to make their plays. But you want to be cleaner in the areas that you have more control over, and that is special teams. That's trying to stay on script. And what we've seen the last 2 weeks is the Lobos just get in a hole so early, it gets them off script. And this was a 14-7 game.
Yes.
It was a 14-7
after the
game
Henry touchdown, yes.
at the start of the second quarter.
Yeah.
And then that's where you're just looking at things get away from you quickly. 21-7, then the Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt fumble that's returned all the way
to the 9.
To the 5-yard line.
To the 5? Okay. Yeah.
And then it's a 3-and-out punt, huge return the other way. And then it just starts snowballing on you. So when you're trying to keep it close, it's the extra factors that don't give you a chance because you're not coming back on these teams that are left on the schedule like you could in a Nevada game.
Wayne, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Wayne.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate you guys. Congratulations to the Aggies. They are definitely doing it right. And I have to say they're really good for Conference USA, and USA is good for the Aggies. Regarding the Lobos, I did watch the coverage on Channel 7.3, and the coverage was good. But the game was definitely hard to watch because we really weren't competitive for most of the game. So, to address the question of where do we go from here, I just have one thought I wanted to share. Anybody who's lived in New Mexico a long time is friends with a former Lobo player. I work with a former linesman under Loxley, and he made a good point to me, and he said that he feels that the Lobos do not do a good job of going after local talent that's right here, and that kind of gets to Danny Gonzalez's point. And he also said that he feels that if...
Where'd Wayne go? I didn't do that to him. My hands are here. I didn't... All right, Wayne.
Academy, Roswell, La Cueva, and Artesia, that would be a really strong core for the Lobos.
So recruiting Southern New Mexico. Yeah, no, Wayne, appreciate you. Thanks. So recruiting Southern New Mexico is kind of what he's saying. There's a lot of New Mexico kids on this roster, a lot of them who play. What's the blend? That's an interesting conversation because I've talked to another alum who says they just got to stop relying on New Mexico kids. Well, the answer is somewhere in the middle, right?
Yes. The New Mexico kids are not turning around the University of New Mexico. There's players that you can bring in. There's players that can develop. But this is one where take a step back and look overall. You're going to have a few that pop and go power conference schools. They should take that opportunity if it's presented to them.
They will.
But there's not a whole group of kids that both of these programs, we're talking New Mexico that missed out on.
Yeah.
That would be changing their entire fate.
Wayne, it's a really fair call, and I know it's a conversation we've had a million times. You want to get the talent that's there. Is there enough to turn the program around? Honestly, I don't know that that's something I think they've not done well. There's a lot of New Mexico kids on their roster.
Yeah, with the last 4 New Mexico Gatorade players of the year on the team?
They're on the roster, yeah. And so I don't know that you can rely solely on that. Larry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Larry.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Let me pull off the road right here. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
This game was kind of tough for me. My wife graduated from UNM, got her bachelor's degree, and my daughter's a semester away. But I'm also UNLV alum, and I call from time to time about this game. Saturday, the weather was perfect. The choppers flying in at the beginning of the game.
That was awesome.
Epic.
By the way, that flyover was awesome.
So awesome.
Yeah.
The weather was great. The thing is, I sat behind the UNLV bench. It was great. The thing I really appreciate about this coach is he wants it so bad for this program.
Yep.
I'm going to try to phrase this right. He cannot want to win, and he cannot want success for this team more than the players do. And what I mean by that is he wants it so bad, but his players are, I don't know that they haven't bought in what the issue is, but these players, it seems like it's very fundamental, elementary mistakes that are taking place. We were down on the bottom, and we were watching a lot of tackles, and a lot of their guys were dropping their heads, and I'm like, oh my gosh, kid, on film review, the coaching staff is going to say a couple things here. You can't tackle what you can't see. And in high school, all of our coaches always told us, head up or you're going to be paralyzed. I mean, there were so many missed tackles where guys were just dropping their heads down, and I thought film review today is going to be really, really rough on these kids.
Especially special teams.
UNLV is fast. They are undersized. They are fast. It's a very, very fast team. People are asking, are they really that good?
Yes.
I kind of think they are.
Yeah.
Since 1991, when I was at school, this is the best UNLV team I've ever seen. They are really fast.
Yeah, it's the best team since '84. Yeah.
And what about Paisano, that kicker they got from Lehigh, Utah?
Yeah.
I mean, that kid is. I mean, he's I think 95, 96 points on the season already.
Yeah.
The kid he's like 5'6", 220 pounds, and he takes a 3-step drop and he just boots it right through the upright.
Yep. Yeah, they got playmakers everywhere. Defensively, they're really good. They're fast. They're well coached. They disguise what they do. They run like 2 defenses at once. They got 4 running backs they run at you. They got a freshman quarterback who didn't make a mistake. That's with Brumfield sitting on the bench. They've got dynamic receiver in Ricky White. The line was terrific. They're very good, and they went toe-to-toe with Fresno, and it's going to be interesting. They got a real shot to beat Air Force.
Jeff, we got home, and we were talking with a bunch of UNLV friends and at the game, and we're looking at Boise State, Hawaii, and the New Mexico Bowl. and our prayers are right now because, like, seriously, New Mexico fans are tough on other fans.
Yeah.
But when I wear my UNLV stuff to the stadium, even for Lobo basketball games, like, people are legit cool to me. They're not jerks to me.
They don't pick you up for being a Vegas fan.
From the Las Vegas people. We're hoping it's New Mexico Bowl. We went on SeatGeek. We were already trying to find tickets. And come on, man, New Mexico Bowl.
You're not the only guy from Vegas asking me about that. Hey, Larry, have a good day, man. Appreciate the call. My buddy who runs the bowl game there, he's like, hey, so he's looking at dates, because they use their staff. And, this game's not going to work for me. And you're the perfect day for me. And I'm like, well, as long as it works for you.
Yeah.
Bowl matchups. All right, stay there if you're on the phone. Danny Gonzalez at the top of the hour. That means 8 o'clock to you and me. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/.
You know, it's been a long time since the Lobos have been one of the haves, and since about 1964 they've been the have-nots. And when you get to that point, firing Danny isn't going to change anything, because if you hire a guy that comes in and changes the program, he's out of here. What we have to do is have a comprehensive evaluation of what's going on and why we've gotten to this point. And it's one thing. It's facilities. And, Jeff, you know this because you deal with it. That locker room for the visiting team is probably enough motivation to go out there and kick the Lobos' butt as anything. That thing's a dump. The referees, where they go, you go to these other places, they have nice lounges and a nice place. I don't think it's any better. So we need to upgrade that facility. We're sitting on $3.8 billion. So all the people that are calling for Danny's head, instead call the governor and say pony up $100 million to fix that dump of a stadium. Because if you fix that stadium, you're going to start attracting people. What got UNLV there? Recruiting players.
Well, there's a number of things, Rudy. There's a number of things. I mean, it's total investment in the program, right? Whether it's facilities, whether it's what you're doing for NIL.
But I can take a kid who's looking at UNLV in New Mexico and take him into the locker room.
Of course.
Over at.
Look, I've been arguing that's a big piece of the puzzle for a long time. I'm not telling you you're wrong.
So we invest now, or we're going to continue to have what we have. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Firing Danny isn't the answer. Getting him help for coaching, maybe an analyst or two that every other school has. You fire him, you're now on another 5-year track. There are no miracle workers for this program. It's going to take a consistent effort and a lot of hard work, and you can get there. And so that's just my 2 cents as a person that's invested in this program. I'm more invested in this football program than I am in the Michigan program. I go back there once a year for a reunion. That's all I do. I give thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm not asking for a pat on the back. Other people need to step up.
No, you care. What you're saying is you care. Yeah, what you're saying is you care. Rudy, appreciate you. And I'm glad you had a good time. I'll look at the video. See you. So there's a couple things. It's investment overall, right? And I know, well, there's a lot of ways this goes. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not telling you to take money away from Richard Pitino, okay? 2 teams of this league pay their basketball coaches more than their football coaches, Nevada and New Mexico. What do those 2 football programs have in common, right? You're going to say, well, that's where all the success is. I don't know. You've been to the NCAA tournament how many times since 2013? And again, I'm not telling you to take resources away from that.
But that's also the challenge, is because then what you're trying to explain ultimately just will get people to start pitting them against each other.
No, and that's not the
I know that's not the point, but that's exactly what's going to happen.
Because there's enough to go around for both. Is my point. And NIL, most of the resources are geared toward basketball NIL, and as that evolves, that needs to evolve. It needs to shift. There's a lot of things, but there's been years of underinvestment in that program, and it's time. If you think you can play, then it's time where now you can pay, and I think you can. Danny Gonzalez is next, global football coach. What do you see on tape? How does it get better? They're going to Boise this week. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
For 5 years running, it's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Lobos will be in Boise Saturday night over on News Radio KKOV. 56-14 was the score Saturday past. UNLV came in and beat New Mexico. Rebels are 7-2 overall, 4-1 in conference, and they were every bit as good as advertised. Lobos hurt themselves quite a bit, special teams-wise, and got down early and weren't able to fight back. They fall to 3-6 overall, 1-4 in conference. Conversation with Danny Gonzalez is sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. Where do you turn when you need legal help? Rudy's experienced, really cares. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today and make your legal problems go away. The head football coach at the University of New Mexico is Danny Gonzalez. He joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Danny. How you doing?
Good morning there, guys. Thank you for having me on, and thank Rudy for sponsoring this. I mean, he's a great supporter and does a great job, and I appreciate him sponsoring this part of the radio.
Yeah, he's a big fan and wants the program to do well, as do a lot of people, but nobody more than you. And you look back at that tape, probably no way to sugarcoat what happened this thing. And you know, where I sat, it just felt like special teams kept you from being competitive in this game. It just took away the chances. When they had, if I'm not wrong, Danny, they didn't run. Well, I know I'm not wrong that they didn't run play in their side of the field until the second quarter. They had fields of 32, 30, 75. I think it was 9 and 21 in the first half.
Correct. I mean, when they've got short fields like that, it was 32, 30, 21, 9, and 5. You're not giving yourself much of a chance. And special teams obviously has been an issue. I mean, JJ asked me on Thursday night during the coaches show, and we had a good segment about it. And obviously we haven't performed well enough in that area to give ourselves a chance. And Saturday was an abominable. I mean, the punt returns. I mean, of the 6 punts, 3 of them. I mean, we hit them for over 50 yards with under 4-second hang time, and we're not good enough to cover them. And then the ones that we hit with a 40-yard hang time, 40-yard punt with over 4-second hang time, they had the fair catch. So Aaron, I mean, he's got a great leg and does some things. He came in yesterday with, he felt bad about out kicking the coverage, but we got to shore that up. I mean, the deep snapper hitting the shield is, those are embarrassing situations for a football team. So there's going to be some significant change on special teams over the next 3 weeks to give us a chance to be competitive, because the game, unfortunately, we gave up the one-play score on the very first one at 30 yards, but we were able to score, make it 14-7, and we get them into a 3rd and 6. And give Ricky White some credit. He's a great player. I mean, he made a 3rd down catch over Zach Morris, because statistically, offensively, we were moving the ball really well in the first half. We could have had a chance to take that in 14-14. Even at 21-7, we had the ball down there, and then they ripped the ball out of Bill's hand, and we're going to make it 20-14. So if we can eliminate the mistakes that we're making in special teams, I mean, UNLV's a dang good football team. I'm not trying to take any credit away from them, but we had a chance. If you look at the stat sheet, and stats stink, but that game wasn't as lopsided as the score as far as going up and down the field.
Yeah, and I don't want to harp on the special teams. I'm going to ask you, and I'll leave it after this. It kind of became a trend, right? The Wyoming thing, you score early, and they return an extra point. And instead of being up 7-0, it's 6-2, and it kind of took the air out of the balloon. The next week, San Jose State blocked a punt and scored a touchdown on it. And I know you guys work on it. And so when you say we're going to address it and do things differently, have you been able to pinpoint something? Because it's been different things. To your point, long snapper hits the shield, punt returns, block kicks. It became a trend, and you talk about 3 phases of football, and that's real.
No, it's very real. I mean, we're not giving our offense opportunities with great starting field position. We've only returned 4 punts on the year, mostly because of where they're punting from and coverage doing good and fair catch and stuff. But we've got to eliminate the things that are killing us from being competitive. So we'll make some changes and give our kids a chance. Now, the kids, we need to go out there and get them to execute, but we got to give them a schematic plan and do a great job of going out there and doing that. So we'll fix the problem.
Global football coach Danny Gonzalez is with us on the Sports Animal.
You mentioned execution. One of the things you talked about is defensively, still in the secondary, some players just letting their eyes take them where they don't need to go. Safeties looking at a play action instead of playing deep. Is that just repetition, or a player just needing to know in that moment you have one responsibility and it's not biting on the play action fake?
No, a combination of both, JJ, and that's a really good question. I mean, UNLV presents some problems with their triple option stuff. So you get overly aggressive to try and support the run. I mean, the very first, and it was disappointing because we've done a lot over the last few weeks because there's been a problem with the sudden change. And they get the punt return down to the 30-yard line, and we go into 2 deep coverage, and the safety bites on the play action pass, and so they have an opportunity to throw the ball in the end zone to where we should have a guy. I mean, those mistakes, obviously, some of that comes with experience, some of that comes with, overzealous over the triple option stuff that we did. So, I mean, we got guys that have played enough football now that need to. I mean, we need to be better than that, and those guys know it, and we'll continue to address it. But give UNLV credit, the scheme. Brendan Marion does a nice job. I mean, the stuff that they didn't crush us with big runs in the triple option, but that presentation obviously allowed that to happen.
When you look at for your offense too, the trying to find momentum early in games, it's tough when they get into a certain place. Have you been able to do what you want early in these games? I know you just mentioned it. You didn't feel like the offense was struggling too much, but when it just kind of starts rolling in that first half, that side of it, how does the special teams, the defense affect what the offense is trying to do?
No, it does. I mean, our offense, on the very first drive, we have a receiver slip on a route on third down coming out of his break that he's going to be wide open, and Dylan had to pull the ball down and run. And then the second drive, after they go up 14-0, after we snapped it right into the shield, the offense did a great job and moved it right down the field, put it in the end zone to make it 14-7, and then we don't get the stop on 3rd and 6, and Ricky White makes that great catch to keep us. And then we're moving the ball again, Bill fumbled the ball down there on the 27-yard line going in. I mean, we've got to eliminate the things that are killing ourselves, obviously. I mean, we're our own worst enemy right now in some of those aspects to keep the game close. And then the punt returns. I mean, after the fumble where they returned it down to the 5, and then they score, and it's 28-7, and then we give them another punt return. I mean, those things, when you're playing a team that's playing as well as UNLV is, and they're talented, you give yourself almost no chance at that point. Now, I thought our kids fought their tails off. I mean, we held them to a goal line stand on that last one, and then Devin came in and took that drive down. I mean, they didn't take out their ones until the very end, which that last series on offense and last series on defense. So, I mean, our kids are fighting their tails off. We just can't put ourselves in that big of a hole.
Well, football coach Danny Gonzalez on The Sports Animal. Doug, you mentioned the Ricky White catch a number of times. For those of you not seen it, it was a third down play. They went downfield, and Ricky White, wearing number 11 for them, went up and over. Zach Morris was in coverage, and I don't know, Danny, schematically, it looked like he was doing everything right, and he got mossed. I mean, he just went over him and peeled it off of the 2 on his back, reached over the defender, and I don't know that I've seen a better catch against you guys this year. Have you?
No, I mean, he was at Michigan State for a reason, and he's made a couple of those plays. He made a huge play against against Fresno last week, almost in the same fashion. I mean, he's a really good receiver. He's got great competitive ball skills when you throw 50-50 balls up, and he's got really long arms. He made a spectacular catch reaching behind Zach. Zach was in a great spot and tried to rip his arm out, and Ricky White was actually able to, he caught it with 2 and then was able to move it to one hand when Zach started to rip it out. I mean, it was a great play, so give him credit because it got him down the ball on the 9-yard line when we had an opportunity to take back some momentum at 14-7 and have a chance to get off the field.
As a guy Herm Edwards once said, dun-na-na, dun-na-na. I mean, it was
exactly.
It was really that good. All right, Dylan, how did he play from your perspective?
Dylan was 15-23. I mean, he threw one bad ball to Andrew Erickson that went over his head in the second quarter. Outside of that, I mean, I thought Dylan he did play really well for what we're asking him to do. I mean, we can't turn the ball over and put our team. I mean, special teams put our team in a hole both on the return game and them on their punt return. So it's a problem. I mean, Dylan actually 15-23, almost 200 yards throwing. I mean, he was putting the ball where it needed to be. I mean, we just, like I said earlier, we got to eliminate the things that are killing ourselves.
All right, going up to Boise, you're going to get a break on the weather. It's not going to be as bad as it could be mid-November. It looks like low is going to be in the 40s, so it should be like high 40s, 50s at kickoff. A Boise State team coming off a loss at Fresno State, and an opportunity for you guys to go up there. Where's your team above the shoulders right now as you approach these last 3 and now heading up into the blue turf?
No, I think the team's resilient. We give them a plan and eliminate the special teams mistakes that we made, especially this past week. But over the last 4 weeks, they'll go out there. And, I mean, this group is resilient as far as willing to fight and preparing and getting ready to play a game. And I believe this team I believe in this team. I mean, our greatest attribute is we're willing to fight, and they believe. And so we'll go up there, and if we can eliminate the mistakes that are killing New Mexico, it's New Mexico killing New Mexico, we can make it a heck of a ball game. And if we don't turn the ball over, we'll have a chance in the waning moments of the game to play against Boise State on their home turf. And like you said, the weather's going to be great, 40 degrees in mid to late November in Boise. You're either living right or something.
Yeah, right. You'll see Fresno next week. You saw UNLV this week. You saw Wyoming. I was stunned what happened with Air Force. Who's the best team in your league right now?
I would have said no doubt Air Force going into the Army game, but obviously Army. Now, you got to take that for what it's worth. Army, Navy, and Air Force, they played each other. They're very similar schematically. They practice against that stuff every day. They do a great job. And then Air Force, Army forced 6 turnovers. So I still think Air Force is a dang good football team, that they probably have the most. Now, we'll see how they come out of that over their psyche. As far as talent, now we haven't seen Fresno and Boise yet up close and personal. We saw Wyoming, and I saw what Wyoming was able to do to Fresno next week. I think top to bottom our league is very similar. It's crazy. Nevada goes into Hawaii, and Hawaii throws the ball all over them and puts up 27 and beats them. So I think UNLV is a talented football team. They've done some great things. Shoot. Al Davis came in last week and a half ago, unannounced. I was talking to Hunky Cooper, who I was on the staff together at San Diego State, who's over there as a special assistant head coach. That wasn't, the money from Mark Davis, he just walked down there and said, hey, I'm going to give y'all $1 million. That's a significant help. Significantly. And then, the Allegiant Stadium has helped, and then they got the Fertitta brothers from Houston, who are alumni of UNLV. They did a great job with that building. So they've made some progress. They've got a talented football team. We'll see what they still have to. They play Air Force and the top of our league, and we'll see how the battle comes down. But I think the Mountain West Conference is a great football league. It's by far the best Group of 5 league. I think we can compete. We have teams. Fresno was 2-0 against Power 5 teams on the road. Yep. So we got a great league.
Yep. All right. Lastly, noise bubbles. Right. Teams start losing, noise bubbles. I know you hear it. How do you keep it out of the locker room? How do you keep it from affecting what you do, what your team does, as you continue to go to try to build this thing and achieve your goals?
Yeah, I've been through. In the 30 years of coaching, we were 1-3 at San Diego State, and everybody was talking about fire the staff. They're terrible, and then we go on and win 33 out of our next 40. There's in the building process of a program, especially like the University of New Mexico. There's certain steps you got to take. There's a lot of growing pains, and it's a lot of hard. Dennis Franchione, who I played for and who's been a mentor of mine, and I talk to probably every other week. It was the 6th year before we competed for a championship, made progress. Coach Long, it took us the 5th year to get into a bowl game. This is a place that you have to recruit, obviously. We've lost some of our best players to the transfer portal, so we've adjusted some of those models. I thought last year we made a huge step forward with the new model. You got to keep plugging away. Our kids are resilient, and I tell them all the time, people that talk about, get rid of the coach, get rid of this, that means they care about the program. And you need people to care about the program. It doesn't matter how they care. They need to care about the program. And so that stuff don't bother me. Heck, I want to win as bad or more than any of those people. I promise that. And I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this. And it does. None of that stuff will ever break me. I've been through this long enough to know that that's what you got to do. So our kids are resilient. I know our kids believe in me and believe in what we're doing in the program. And really, that's all I care about. We'll start winning games and continue to be competitive and win football games, and all those things will go away. But it's a day-to-day work on the day, stay 1-0 focused that day. Our kids are resilient. We'll do it this week, and we'll go up there and we'll fight our tails off against Boise. And if we make enough plays and don't shoot ourselves in the foot, we'll have a great opportunity to win.
Always appreciate the conversation. We'll see you throughout the week. Safe travels up to Boise. We'll do this again next Monday. Good luck against the Broncos, Danny.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate JJ. Did a great job at the Coach Show on Thursday night, and thanks for all you guys do. Go Lobos.
Be well. Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach at the University of New Mexico. That conversation was sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. Personal and experienced care for your legal issues. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. Make your legal problems go away. You can respond to what you heard when you come back. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. How does Taco Bell...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
505-246-0610 is how to get to us today if you want to get in. Lot of interesting conversation. I've got different response to what Danny Gonzalez had to say. So, I thought the last thing he said, and I hope you're okay. Where's my coffee? Way over there. The way I asked the question, and look, they're human beings. They hear the noise. Okay. Danny said at the end, there's nobody who wants to win more than he does. And I firmly believe that, right? That's his livelihood. It's his job. He's proud of this place. He loves this place. They're not winning, and I understand that. He's not mistaken when he says that it took Dennis Franchione, 5-6 years to win? And people look back on the Franchione years like it's the greatest thing ever, right? They won to one bowl game, 1997. They went to the Insight.com Bowl. I think they won 9 games that year. They went to the WAC championship game that year. And then Fran went to, was it TCU first, right? Yeah, it was TCU. And then Alabama, then A&M. It took Rocky a number of years. And again, I know you want to see progress. And that the toughest part of this, JJ, I think, is when you lose 56-14 and look like you did on special teams, it's hard for people to see the progress. And that's where this got. If they were competitive every week, right? The San Jose State game really bothered people the second half, but then they came back and beat Nevada. They were competitive up at Wyoming, who's a good football team, right? That, I think the way they lost this week is really, and I know you guys felt it on the postgame show.
Absolutely. It's frustrating. You know, on Saturday, UNLV was the better team. But to see New Mexico struggle finding a way to give themselves a chance. There's so many self-inflicted mistakes at this point in the season. It is really frustrating. The special teams errors and miscues if you're not able to figure out what you need to do when it comes to punting the football. If you're out punting your coverage, like they
kick it out of bounds.
Kick it out of bounds. Tell Aaron, dude, you just got to sky it. Like, and I know you want that
those
53, 55-yard kick. Give us a 40-yard kick right now.
Yeah.
We have to be better in the field position game on both sides. Is what Coach Gonzalez is talking
you
about.
You don't want to penalize a guy for having a booming leg and
but
being able to kick
you're just seeing it.
Yeah.
You're putting your defense in a tough position. It's a defense that's still going to be up and down when you look at the players in that secondary. There's still a lot of freshmen. There's a lot of sophomores. Davian Combs wasn't playing. Alec Marenko wasn't playing in the first half.
Yeah.
So you had your veteran playmakers not there. And so you understand the battle, and you have to clean up the things that you can control. And when those are the things that are really hurting you, and then you have a game like the first half against Nevada where you're just like, that's the last thing you expect, is a 3 interception half for Dylan Hopkins.
See,
and it's,
honestly, the first half against Nevada was literally the 3 interceptions. Now you're going to say, well, Jeff, that's a quarterback who's been pretty good all year except for that one half, right?
But it just goes, and you have that, and then it's the special teams, and you just can't get out of your way early in these games.
And I know Danny feels that they're close, that they're really close to flipping it. And I know there's those of you who watched that game the other day and just goes, how do you see they're close, right? I felt, we didn't even get into what the defense looked like. I felt that, and I don't know how you felt watching this, I felt UNLV kind of could do whatever they wanted offensively the other day. Didn't you feel that way?
Yeah, they have a really good plan. They have really good players to execute the plan, and when it's a short field, it's good night. Now this is
in the second half. They were thrown over the top. They threw to Jacinto
that was when,
and,
from the outside, you could see that's just young dudes that they got in the moment. Like they were just looking up and just like, man.
Yeah, Noah Polo-Gates got beat one time, and then but they threw deep to Jacinto, and then they threw deep to Ricky White, and it was like, wow. I mean, it was 42 and 49, and it was like, holy smokes, right? And so Chris sent a text. It says, and this is at 505-246-0610, keep Danny. Invest in the program, and the real fans will be rewarded. Give 3 more years to implement the new recruiting strategy. I don't know how NMSU is able to do it, but congrats to them. Chris, thanks for that. The NMSU thing, I think, is something that has Lobel fans with less of patience too, right? They see what the success is down there. Is it different? It is, but it isn't in some respects. I mean, they're also a program that doesn't have great facilities, although they're investing a little bit in their facilities. They've got a veteran coach who has made a career out of rebuilding programs, don't they? And he's doing it again. Mm-hmm. Now, you can tell me, well, they're playing in a league and they're playing, it'd be great to play Sam Houston and play Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee is usually pretty good. But the reality is they've beaten you 2 years in a row, right? So if you're looking for a head-to-head mark, I mean, it's not just that they're beating up on Sam Houston and whatever it is you want to tell me. I mean, didn't they go into Liberty and beat the tar out of Liberty last year and turn their whole thing around? Mm-hmm. They won their bowl game, right? So I think that piece of it is what's hurting people a little bit. Dan says, couldn't disagree with Rudy more. Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Dimitri Clark. Dimitri Clark. That's good. Quote, firing Danny will set Lobo football back 5 years, end quote. Gonzalez said during the post-game interview, guys will be run off after the season and replaced with mercenaries. In other words, Lobo football is already starting over. Why would removing Danny change that? It's from Dan. Dan, every program is going to be flipping. UNLV's roster, which had, if you look at it, there's a whole lot of guys that were left from when Marcus Arroyo was head coach, but they have 55 guys on that roster that were on opening day that weren't there last year. 55. Everybody's flipping rosters.
I'm not worried about running anyone off because you actually have young pieces you want to keep around on the defense. The concern is, can you keep those offensive linemen?
Because the offensive line's actually not been bad. This has been the best offensive line the last 3 years, by far. Yeah.
Like if Deion Sanders starts making a call, what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, yeah. Bourne says Danny's mouth killing him. Jeff, he promised a weak conference would save Lobo football. They had as much talent as anybody remaining on their schedule. Is that bulletin board material for other clubs in the Mountain West? I don't know they ever said they got a weak conference. In fact, I think he's continuously said that they've got a really, really good conference. What he said is, we're as good as almost everybody on our schedule. He believed that they were good. I don't think he ever... Is it bulletin board material to say we can compete with anybody in our league? Or should you say, yeah, they're better than us, they're going to kick our ass, why are we even showing up? Bourne, you heard something different than I heard. I heard him say that we could play with anybody in our schedule. But I don't know that I ever heard him say he promised a weak conference. Lobo Hobo. Does Lobo football win another game, Jeff? The next 3 squads have a lot to play for. After upsetting the Aztecs, Nevada on deck, Gary Anderson's telling his guys Utah State can get back into the bowl talk. Yeah, everybody's got something to play for, dude. Boise State's 4-5 right now. Am I going to hear next week, well, they lost to a crappy 4-5 team? Is that what I'm going to hear if they lose? You and I were just looking at Boise State's losses, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Boise State, who I watched go toe-to-toe with Fresno State the other day, who I think is really good, lost their opener to Washington, who may be in the college football playoff. Then they lost by 2 to UCF on a last-second play. They lost by 3 to Memphis on a last-minute field goal. They lost by 1 to Colorado State on a silly Hail Mary. Like, most Hail Marys are silly, but this one was ridiculous. And then they lost by a touchdown to Fresno State, who may be the best team in the league. So they lost by 7, 8, 10, and those 4 losses were by 12 points combined. Yeah, they're 4-5, but they're pretty damn good 4-5, aren't they? And they got a lot to play for too. They got New Mexico, Utah State, and Air Force. They got them just get bowl eligible.
Yeah, Boise State is underperforming with their expectations, what they want to do. Always pick to win the Mountain West Conference, but they're far from a bad football team.
Emmett, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Emmett.
Morning.
What's happening? Emmett.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the air.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to say, I'm a Lobo fan, a Lobo alum, but it's just hard to be patient when Coach Kill down in Las Cruces gets into a bowl game his first year, and then again they're having the test they're having. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, I think that's a big factor in this. Emmett, thanks for the call, and don't be a stranger.
You're welcome.
And that's exactly what I was just saying. I think that's one of the pieces that Lobo fan is just going, wait a minute, man. Our guy's saying it takes time, and historically it's proven that it does. And that guy down there at our little brother is doing what they're doing. And you can tell me all you want. Yep, their schedule, whatever. They beat you 2 years in a row. They're 7-3. They've won. What I just give you? They're 13. What's the number I gave you since October of last year? 13-1?
4?
I think that's right. Yeah, no, and that's a big piece of it. I get that, and that's where that gentleman's coming from. 505-246-0610. If you want to keep in on that, we can. You want to do Red Zone when we come back? All right, Red Zone when we come back. We're going into the NFL Red Zone next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Thursday night and tonight football.
fake. They have a man. It's a conversion on the fake. It's complete out wide to the big tight end, David Butler. And it's a Rams first down.
It's tough.
I'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 15. Right back to it, and he is in. Touchdown for Charles Lopez Burton.
Olivas has some time. Josiah Mitchell, it's intercepted! Touchdown! It'll go the distance, and Jared Meechan.
Bunch formation to the left. Cabrera, the handoff. Cabrera's got some room. Up the middle of the 45-40. Foot race to the end zone. Cabrera trying to outrace the Matador secondary. Dash drug down. Touchdown, I believe. That'll be a 70-yard touchdown run, and it is. Cabrera
right alongside. We expect to be a low-scoring game. Garcia has a lot of speed. Garcia is gone. Nobody gonna catch him. Touchdown Vikings. Daniel Garcia with breakaway speed.
Yeah.
Brandon Olivas, see if he can get the same sort of magic. This time he looks to his right first, then he's looking to his left. He's gonna bomb this out there for Moorhead again! Jahari Moorhead! My goodness!
Kyle Evan Huss back to work on the option. He'll flip it out. Big time hole there. See you later. One play and to the house for Malachi Gutierrez. Pressure. It's coming from the side now. He's rolling. Goes down the field. Open man. Touchdown! Elijah Hansen connects.
And that will be blocked up front. Picked up. And I think we've got ourselves a return for a touchdown. Jace Henderson, the sophomore, as million.
I don't know if I could have done that or not. We remember all those signals to give the quarterback.
Rivera throws over the middle, intercepted.
Guess
Third
who that
is. There's Megan Posa.
Guess who that
Megan
is.
Posa down the right side, still on his feet down the left side now, cuts it back up the hash. Posa may score. Posa still on his feet. Dragging a tackler to the end zone, dives in, touchdown, I believe. Let's see, touchdown.
That has to be a
Megan
touchdown.
Posa.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glass.
Whether it's facilities, and I think the tide is turning. I think there's capital outlay coming in for facilities, whether it's coaching salaries, whether it's NIL, whatever it is, right? And I've given you the reasons. I got a note from down south that says, bro, not complaining, but, quote, under-investing, end quote, in football. New training center and field house, state-of-the-art lighting, twice as much capital outlay from the state every year as New Mexico State. Football budget twice the size of the school from down south, a much larger business base. They have the elements to make it work, and Coach Gonzalez is a class act. Okay, they did get the new training center, right? That was the New Mexico Mutual money. New field house. Is there a new field house?
They have a new practice field.
Yeah, they have new fields. And they did get the new lighting. They did get the new lighting. And there is outlet coming in. There's always, I've always heard about the discrepancy. But, it's apples to apples. Look, I think New Mexico State's underinvested too. And what they're doing down there is amazing. What's going on down there is amazing at New Mexico State. This is not to belittle anything or say, we don't have time right here for NFL, do we, for Red Zone? Look at the clock. All right, we'll do Red Zone right at 9 o'clock. Red Zone right at 9 o'clock.
What's your name?
But I'm not sitting here to tell you, JJ, that wow, I'm not comparing New Mexico to New Mexico State and saying,
Would you say
they both invested? Like as far as their peer institutions is my point. That they're both underinvested. What Jerry Kill and what New Mexico State has done, look, they're 13-4 since last October, and they're doing great things. It's amazing what's going on down there, and I know that's eating at Lobo fan, and it's making what's going on really harder to swallow. I get it, but yeah, I will stand by. Yeah, they're underinvested in football at UNM. Now, that doesn't mean that they're overinvested at New Mexico State. They're underinvested there, too. But Jerry Kill came in and said, I'm not going to take this job unless we do this, 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 and this. Do you know New Mexico State last year, because of some legislative money, finally got a second set of helmets? I was down there for the first game of the year. So they were wearing the white helmets. And somebody on their administration told me they just got a second set of helmets, which meant, you know how the equipment trucks take off on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday? They go to they go set up. So your game helmets are on that truck. Your uniforms are on that truck. New Mexico State couldn't send their helmets on the truck because they needed them to practice on Thursday and Friday. They finally got a second set of helmets. I mean, they're underinvested too. Believe me, I'm not telling you that they, it's not one gets more than the other. John, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, John.
All right, I'm gonna tease out what my bias might be. Aggies, oh Aggies, the hills send back the cry. We're here to do or die.
So you're where are you from? No. So yeah, big week for the Aggies, man. And look, what they're doing down there is amazing. 13-4 since last October, and 5-game winning streak, 5 games in a row in conference for the first time since never. Like, yeah, great things.
I tell you what, I was there for the game, and it was fantastic. I've been to a couple of games. I don't make every game. I give my tickets back to the school if I can't make it. It's a great experience. The coaches are real honest, nice people. The kids are great. They've started nice traditions. Yeah, I mean, they could all use more money, and I think that they're doing great. And I want to say that for Mario, I think a lot of people have been on his case about some of the stuff that happened on the basketball. Nobody bets 1,000. And, I mean, you look, okay, their volleyball team was in the championship game for their conference finals. Their women's soccer team was in the championship for the conference finals. You've got the football team going to a bowl game again. I mean, we're not even going to talk about the successes from last year. I mean, already they're, really doing fine in all different aspects.
Basketball opens up today at Rupp Arena against Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, gee whiz. So, I mean, if people are looking for a team to root for, and they kind of like the underdog, and if you want to think that money represents a facet of being the underdog, there is no bigger underdog. I mean, those kids, they're overachievers. They've got a coach that pulls everything out of them, and they've got an athletic director who is doing that with the coaches and is a great face and voice for the institution. Could they all be better in a lot of different ways? Sure. Yeah. I'm not going to be sitting here and stroking them. I mean, we all have a long way to go in all our lives, but they're doing something that's great and positive. My only concern is they're going to go into Auburn, a money game, because they need the money. I just hope that they don't get a lot of players hurt.
Yeah. We'll see where that goes to for Auburn. No, John, appreciate the call, and congratulations. I'm glad you had fun down there, and congratulations to Aggies fans. Great things going on down there. Look, it's a time for them to celebrate, and JJ, you've watched that program for how many years, right?
Oh yeah, we've been doing this for quite some time.
Good for them. Like, they're having success, they're winning, they're partying, they're wobbling. And what Jerry's done there is amazing. I will take your phone calls. We'll continue up until the top of the hour, which will be 9 o'clock. We're going to switch gears, go to the red zone at 9 o'clock. But if you're there, stay there. We got to take this break. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Thursday night, and tonight football.
This report is sponsored by Taco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Mexico State Aggies and being bowl eligible for the second time in 2 years or whatever you want to say. And and here's the thing, and when you look at that, the one thing that concerns me about that, and this is going to sound a little off the wall, but hear me out. A state where, and you've said this many times, Jeff, nothing is free enough.
Yes.
In a state where people are very like to clutch their wallets very closely, and that goes for people in the legislature that have the ability to give money. It scares me when people say, well, New Mexico State doesn't have all these amenities to their program, and they're successful. Why should we give money or any more money to New Mexico State? And why should we give money to the University of New Mexico?
If that's the case, then we're going to continue to spiral. I mean, it's just it's like anything else. If you want to be good in education, then you got to invest. If you want to be good in the economy, you got to invest. If you want to be good in football on a regular basis, you got to invest.
Right, and that's where my concern is. And it really, I really hope that what happens is people say, well, maybe we should invest more in these programs, because if we're having success at this level, then imagine if we invested. And that's the other side of it, and that would be the hope. My cynical eye looks at it and says, "Oh my goodness, this could not. This could work out."
And that's because we've seen it that way. And Jay, appreciate the call. I get the cynicism because you know the history of this place. And let's hope that there's legislators who are in position there that want to go another way, that understand the importance. Jeffrey, good morning. Thanks for holding. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir.
How are you, sir?
You know I can be a victim of the moment.
But you've taken 2 days.
Yeah, I've been given a couple of days. The way I look at it is, look, we've had 2 winning seasons in 10 years, right? And so I try and put things like, if you're looking at a graph, what's our trajectory, right? And if you're a bad team and you're consistently bad, people will say, well, you're kind of horizontal, right? Well, if you're bad and you're horizontal, then your trajectory is down. And what I see with our team is I just see we're on a downward trajectory. And Danny Gonzalez, for all the niceness, for just a great guy, you know, all that stuff. We got to cut our losses before, unlike we did with Davey, unlike we did with Loxie. It's just like, let's not let our feelings for a person, you know, take over the situation. And I just think a couple things, you talked about it, I don't know, maybe a week or so ago, is like, there's got to be some money invested into the facilities. And I mean the stadium itself. It's just, nobody likes to hear the hundreds of millions of dollars words being thrown around, but you absolutely have to, because if you're trying to attract quality talent, one thing they look at is what they're stepping into. And so I'll say that, and I'll say, now that we know we've dug ourselves into a hole, the first rule is to stop digging and let's get ourselves out and just move on. That's how I see it. I like Danny as a person, but this team is not going to be better than it is with him at the helm.
Appreciate you, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Yep.
There's got to be an investment, and like these 2 camps are going to dig in, I think, a lot more over the next few weeks and see where things are going. One thing on Boise State, who they're playing, the Lobos are playing next week. BJ Rains, their big reporter up there, reported this morning that the top receiver of Boise State, Eric McAllister, transferring out of Boise State, so he probably won't play. Well, he won't play this week, for whatever that means to you. That means that they'll be without one of their best players. But I think the two camps are going to really dig in on both sides. You know, the Jeffrey camp and the Rudy camp, and those aren't the official names of the 2 camps.
But you get the idea.
But it's, you know, one, we got to make a move, and the other one is we've got to commit to what we're doing. And I think, you know, we got 3 weeks left, and mathematically, the Lobos are not eliminated from playing a game that matters at University Stadium on the 18th against Utah State. All right, we're going to do some NFL when we get back. It's Red Zone. We still got to get you the 3-for-all, which wasn't as bad as it normally is, by the way. It's the opening drive. We're going to get into the Red Zone, and DC has put together a fill-in-the-blank Red Zone. It's going to make JJ and I take a test today on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, you're home for Sunday night and Thursday night and even tonight football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
What does this mean? So NMSU plays in a weak conference. The Aggies have won all their games against teams who have a losing record. The combined record for teams they beat is 13-34. So once again, the Aggies luck out. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Once again, they luck out. What's their record against New Mexico last 2 years? I got it. That's from Rudy. I get it, man. They like I don't know what to tell you. They beat the teams that are in front of them. They beat the teams in their league. Last time I checked, they didn't turn down an invitation to your league, right?
They're winning the games that the Lobos haven't been able to. Lobos didn't beat New Mexico State. Lobos didn't beat Nevada, and if they did, where would they be at?
Yeah,
they would be. Man, if we get one more win, going bowling.
All I know is they're 13-4 since last October. They went to Liberty last year and beat the tar out of a pretty good Liberty team. Oh, their coach was leaving. Okay, that was a pretty good team. They went and won their bowl game. They beat New Mexico 2 years. I don't know why Lobo fan needs to belittle what they've done. There can be two things can be true. And what's going on down there is pretty impressive, and what they've done is pretty good. And you can belittle them all you want, but they'll be in a bowl game this year. They're winning games, and it's a hell of a story what Jerry Kill has done. All right, we're going to go into we're going to change course here a little bit. We're going to get into the NFL Red Zone. It was a crazy weekend. The NFL, you saw the Cowboys and Eagles. You saw the Chiefs and Dolphins. You saw the Seahawks and Ravens. I mean, really big stuff. And that leads us right into what DC put together for the Red Zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the Red Zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, a crazy week indeed. So let's fill in some blanks. We'll start with the teams. I'm going to read it off, and you just fill in the blank and tell me why. So, teams. The Dolphins are blank.
The Dolphins are the Cowboys of the AFC. Good enough to compete, have championship aspirations, but yet don't have something in the regular season that you can really hang your hat on, as they are 0-3, losing to the winning teams. That is the Buffalo Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Dolphins are next tier in the AFC. They're really good when they don't play the top of the league. They're good. And until they win and get over the hump, they're lost to the Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Bills. Their best win outside of that is, I guess, the Chargers. Right? They beat the Chargers, the Patriots, the Broncos. And again, you play who's in front of you. I'm not belittling their schedule. But at some point, you've got to beat a contender to be a contender.
All right, let's go back and forth so we can get through all these.
Yeah.
All right, next one. The Jets are blank.
Holding on. They're holding on. They played tonight against the Chargers. They're holding on. They're holding on with a good defense. Zach Wilson's getting better. The Jets are holding on.
All right, the Vikings are blank.
Oh, we don't both do them. I get it.
Man, I had some good ones set up for this,
I did
DC.
too. I did too. DC just changed the rules on it.
Dang it.
Well, if you guys want to go, let's go. Because this is good stuff. This really is.
The Jets are a Honda Civic. Like, you have your old Honda Civic. It just keeps going, but you're at the point of maybe when this breaks down, I'll finally get a new car. I'll get something, but it just keeps getting by. You never can quite quit it, and that's the New York Jets.
All right, the Vikings are blank.
Playground Warriors. They pick up the kid that's standing on the side, like, "Hey, do you want to play with us?" "Ah, sure. What's your name?" Josh. Just call me Josh. "Okay, Josh. Let's go."
Vikings are coming. Vikings are. Let me tell you, when you get a win like that, the special seasons have special moments, and that was as special of a moment. I just watched the locker room celebration with Kevin O'Connell and Josh Dobbs and all those guys. Vikings are coming because that was special yesterday.
All right, finally, the Seahawks are blank.
Seahawks are okay. They're okay. They're okay. Just because they got smashed yesterday in Baltimore, they don't stink. The Seahawks are still going to be. They're not the Eagles, but the Eagles are the only team at the top of the NFC. The Seahawks, maybe the Niners, but the Niners haven't won in a month. The Seahawks are just fine. They're on that next shelf with everybody else in the NFC.
The Seahawks wish they were Cinderella, because the slipper does not quite fit, and it's going to strike midnight, and Geno Smith is going to turn into a pumpkin.
Second and goal.
Pumpkin. You said it too.
Oh, that's good.
Pumpkin.
All right, so let's move on to quarterback.
Anger too.
Pumpkin. I like that one. Okay. Josh Allen is blank.
So you or me?
New school Brett Favre on the football field, not all the mess off the football field. But that's who he is, man. He's an old gunslinger that's going to make a lot of great plays, and you're just going to realize he's going to have at least one interception every single game.
Josh Allen's still good, man. He's still good. He didn't lose that game for them yesterday. Josh Allen is still good, and he will get better.
All right, Josh Dobbs is blank.
Different. I mean, for a dude to show up and get one practice and spend 5 extra hours with the offensive coordinator and win that game, and that's his third team in the last 2 months, he's just different. I'm not telling you he's a Hall of Famer. I'm just telling you he's different and a dude I'd want on my team.
Josh Dobbs is 28 years old, and he just guaranteed himself 10 more years in the league, no matter what he does.
He's the next
rest
Brian
of the season.
Hoyer. Is what
This
he is,
dude
right?
was 1-9 as a starting quarterback, and what he did yesterday guarantees himself another decade in
So
the
would you
NFL.
say he's the next Brian Hoyer? He's getting checks for the next decade. Yeah, it's totally fair.
Got checks in the sideline seats.
Yeah.
That's good. Good package. All right, let's move on. Derek Carr is blank.
Derek Carr is Bubba's 33. Like it'll get you get you by. It's a solid like you want to go watch some games, have some wings and some onion rings. Oh, all right, Bubba's, they got some games on.
I like that.
Good TVs. Like it'll get you by. You feel all right.
He's fine, and if you surround him with a really good team, look. By the way, they're 5-4, he's fine. And I think, in fact, I think he's fine to good. I think he's a good quarterback in the NFL. And by the way, can I tell you this too? Derek Carr is a quarterback of a first-place team. That's what he is.
Find the good like Bubba's wings.
Yeah, he's
Like
a quarterback
Bubba's
of a first-place team.
I love that. All right, Sam Howell is blank.
I don't even. I mean, Sam Howell's my fantasy quarterback. How about that? Sam Howell puts up numbers every week. Sam Howell is at times he's like so many other NFL quarterbacks. There are times where you just go, oh yeah, I get it, and then there he is rolling at the 7-yard line and throws an interception square into the chest of a dude wearing the other color shirt, and you just go, what was that? Sam Howell is a if I drew you the median of an NFL quarterback, you would say he's below it. He's right near that median line of an NFL quarterback.
Sam Howell is the X you can't quit because the good times are so much fun. But then you take a step back and you're like, can this be serious? Is this a long-term commitment? Can we commit to this long-term? Because the flashes are so great. Almost 400 yards passing, over 300 yards against the Patriots. But then you wake up Monday morning and you're like, can this be serious? The X you can't quit.
3rd and goal.
I got to say, JJ's on fire today.
Yeah,
I'm glad we did.
I'm not comparing him to cars and restaurants and X's, man. I'm just like giving you a definition.
Deep.
Yeah,
I love this. All right, so let's go on to some sleepers and storylines. Blank is the reason the Cowboys blank.
Defense is the reason the Cowboys can contend. Play defense like that, and you give your offense plenty of opportunities that you can believe in this team when it comes to the postseason.
The logo is the reason they sell so much merchandise. No, wait.
It's actually correct.
Dak is the reason that they're just not getting over the hump. He's good. He's solid. He keeps you in it. And then he's just a step short. Literally a step short of making the play that gets you over the hump. Dak is I mean, you all love Tony Romo when he was your quarterback, and everybody likes Dak. He's hard not to like. He's Tony Romo, and he's the reason they're just not getting over the hump.
Blank is the reason the Texans blank.
C.J. Stroud is the reason the Texans have a future. The C.J. Stroud is the reason that everybody is just so fired up, and he's the reason, and I'll say it right now and go ahead and tell me I'm freaking nuts. They might. I'm not saying they will. They may make the playoffs.
C.J. Stroud is the reason the Texans can dream. This is a match made in heaven. QB1 at the number 2 overall pick, and you pair him with DeMarco Ryans. It's like, it's not supposed to work like this. You're supposed to have the young, hot offensive guy with the quarterback. No, you just got the good, solid NFL coach setting the tone, and CJ is letting him fly.
All right, that was good. Blank is the reason the Steelers blank.
Mike Tomlin is the reason the Steelers are just above average. Like, no longer can you just keep looking at this man and thinking he's going to make something out of nothing. They're doing it, but the bottom is going to fall out, and they're going to be just short again. And maybe they're not below 500, but it's not good enough.
Mike Tomlin is the reason they're consistently contenders. And I don't know why. I think the bottom's going to drop out because they find a way to win every week. You watch it for 3 quarters, you're like, oh, look at the Steelers stink again. And then they find a way to win. Mike Tomlin's the reason that they're consistently contending for a playoff spot. And this isn't a great roster. This isn't one of those. Their defense is decent, but this isn't one where you look around. He's the reason to me that they're consistent and they stick around.
All right, finally, blank is the reason the Bengals blank.
Joe Burrow's the reason they're Super Bowl contenders. I mean, look at the difference. All of a sudden, dude can move around, and his calf is good. And I don't know, you want me to compare him to a car? Joe Burrow is that Maserati that had a flat tire, and you were driving around and wasn't going very fast. And now all of a sudden, you put new rims and new tires on it, and look at that, and they may go to the Super Bowl.
Well, it's like when someone buys a really fancy sports car, and they're like, "Bro, you know what I just got?
What'd you get?
It's got a Lamborghini."
Ah, sweet.
But you struggle. You're like, I don't know how to get out of first gear. And you're just like, you're like, have you ever done this before? Nope. But I had the money to buy a Lamborghini. And then once you get out of the first, once you get out of the first gear, oh my gosh, watch out now.
Yeah, it's like you guys. How many guys? You guys both have motorcycles. How many people go, "Wow, that's really cool"? Wouldn't know how to get out of first gear. Right?
Many.
Yeah.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, here's the big one. Blank is winning the Super Bowl, and blank is why.
Philadelphia is winning the Super Bowl because they're going to have home field advantage in the NFC. That front seven is going to get healthy when it counts. And that pass funnel defense that they have, when they start getting pressure in the postseason, it's going to create turnovers. And Jalen Hurts, one tough SOB that just wins football games.
So I was going to tell you it was Philadelphia, but I got to go a different way. Because I was going to tell you that Philadelphia, because they know how to win, because they've learned how to win, because they're taking that step. Baltimore's winning the Super Bowl because they've got a nasty defense, and I don't think they've unleashed their quarterback yet. And I think that they've got levels to get better offensively, and I'll lean on Baltimore right now.
You took mine.
Did I?
You did. I think Baltimore looks so good. Their defense, to me, is coming together at the right time. That offense under Todd Monken is gelling. You know, you have these names that you're thinking, oh, that's not much. They're not doing anything. It's kind of like the Chiefs. They turn guys into stars. I think that's happening in Baltimore. Watch out for those Ravens.
All right, that's our red zone. You can tell us where we're wrong. When we get back, I'll let you know how we did. You got the results of the 3-for-all? All right, we'll still take your calls at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I got a lot more comments on Lobo football, Aggie football. It's basketball season today, too. If you want to get in on that, if you're going out to the game tonight, or Aggies open up at Kentucky. They got to go to Louisville later in the year, too. All of it's on the table for you at 505-246-0610 here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Come to the UNM.
It's a fake. They have a man. It's a conversion on the fake. It's complete out wide to the big tight end, David Butler. And it's a Rams first down. It's tough. I'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 15. Right back to it, and he is in. Touchdown for Charles Lopez Burton.
Rivas has some time. Josiah Mitchell, it's intercepted! Touchdown! It'll go the distance, and Jared Meechan.
Bunch formation to the left. Cabrera, the handoff. Cabrera's got some room. Up the middle of the 45-40. Foot race to the end zone. Cabrera trying to outrace the Matador secondary. Dash drug down, touchdown, I believe. That'll be a 70-yard touchdown run, and it is. Cabrera
right alongside. We expect to be a low-scoring game. Garcia has a lot of speed. Garcia is gone. Nobody gonna catch him. Touchdown Vikings. Daniel Garcia with breakaway speed.
Yeah.
Brandon Olivas, see if he can get the same sort of magic. This time he looks to his right first, then he's looking to his left. He's going to bomb this out there for Moorhead again! Jahari Moorhead! My goodness!
Huss back to work on the option. He'll flip it out. Big time hole there. See you later. One play and to the house for Malachi Gutierrez. Hansen rolling. Pressure. It's coming from the side now. He's rolling. Goes down the field. Open man. Touchdown. Elijah Hansen connects.
And that will be blocked up front, picked up, and I think we've got ourselves a return for a touchdown. Jace Henderson, the sophomore, as Millie.
I don't know if I could have done that or not. We remember all those signals to give the quarterback.
Rivera throws over the middle, intercepted.
Guess
Third
who that
is there's Megan Post.
Guess who that
Megan
is.
Posa down the right side, still on his feet down the left side now, cuts it back up to Haas. Posa may score. Post still on his feet, dragging a tackler to the end zone, dives in, touchdown, I believe. Let's see, touchdown.
That has to be a
Megan
touchdown.
Posa.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
You have the third lowest budget out of all the Mountain West teams. So you're sitting there and you're saying, oh, well, they're a bottom feeder school. They're beating bottom feeder teams. In your conference, you're the bottom feeder. You've been to the basketball tournament, NCAA tournament, 6 times since 1999. You've been to bowl games 7 times since you've been in Mountain West, won 2 of them. You have no leg to stand on.
Okay, no, Sean, appreciate you, and I think the argument's it's just one of those. I think it's an argument out of frustration. It's Lobo fan just going, we're not doing it. Yeah, but they're doing it. We'd be doing it if we were in their league. We'd be well, then go. Like honestly, if that's the case, and by the way, Lord knows where conference realignment's going these days, right? Be careful for what you speak and what you wish. And I don't think any of you are wishing for that. Give them credit. I get it, man. It hurts and it sucks, and you're not winning and they are. But to belittle that what they're doing, with all due respect, it's just a bad argument. You might be factual with the numbers of their opponent's record and all that stuff. Again, they're beating who's in front of them. They're beating teams who, by the way, were perennially beating them. Right? Am I wrong with that?
No.
This is who, and they've beaten you 2 times in a row. And they won their bowl game. Yeah, you're right. They're not Michigan. They're not Alabama. You're 100%. You're right. But it just feels like it's an argument based on, I don't know. Is jealousy not the right word?
Frustration, jealousy.
Yeah.
Insert whatever emotions get you to that point.
Yeah. And you'll be able to take out your frustrations possibly in basketball on them, right? Grady, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Grady.
Luxury sled gear grinders
That's
of the
right.
OD and the AM. What's happening?
What's going on?
Hey, first off, before I forget, my man Dalton Chesterfield's production value.
Dalton Chesterfield.
Fire.
Yeah, he's
fire.
killing
I'm feeling it. You know, the whole UNM, NMSU deal, it's interesting. You know, I mentioned that earlier. I think, unfortunately, NMSU's success is going to be the downfall of Coach Gonzalez. And for all the reasons that folks have stated before, I think it's not a direct apples-to-apples comparison because each situation is different. Each situation is unique. But what you can't argue with as far as a program with fewer financial resources that literally shut down during COVID with circumstances, quite frankly, worse than yours, they're doing better than you are. And I think that, and again, I'll say this, unfortunately, some of the folks that are making decisions are going to be thinking along those same lines. They're going to be thinking, well, if they can do it, we should be able to do it. And there's really not a really good argument against it because everything that Coach Gonzalez says is true, and I don't think they're excuses. I think they're reasons, but they're not any worse than what those folks down south are facing, and they're having better results. And really, to kind of break it down even more simplified, Coach Kill is an established, he was a veteran head coach, as you mentioned earlier, and Coach Gonzalez, this is his first gig. This is his first gig as a head coach, and, you know, maybe it might be something as simple as that. So I can't see, unless there's some miraculous turnaround these last 3 games, I can't see Coach Gonzalez surviving this, and I just think it's, you know, it's a hit and miss kind of thing, and this just might be a miss. And to the folks that, you know, to that are worried about or upset about, you know, funding in the facilities, I think it's 2 separate arguments. I'll say this: coaches are going to come and go, players are going to come and go. You want the quote-unquote flagship university of this state to be as nice as possible. You want to have as good a facilities as you can, not for wins, not for losses, but because it's the flagship university of this state and you want it to be as nice as possible. Not to mention, if the folks around here that are calling for a coaching change, you don't think a coach coming in here is going to think, wow, look at these facilities. They really haven't had much commitment to it. So
it's part of the process, and I know there's plans for capital money coming in. And great, appreciate you, because it's a great call, and thank you for it.
Appreciate the time.
You know, be well. It's and that's why there's a push now. I think there's an urgency over there. I think they get it. Hopefully, legislature will get it, and you get some improvements. Dan, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Jeff. Good morning.
Good morning.
Boy, did we get our butts kicked yesterday or what?
Seahawks got run out of Baltimore, yes.
We got run out of B, baby. And Gino had this pissed off look on his face.
He should have.
I'm like, well, who are you mad at, bro?
Yeah, he
who
should.
You mad at? You know? Come on, you're mad at Gino? Are you mad at Gino? Anyway, okay, I got that off my chest, Jeff. And gosh, I was like, oh man, I had to go outside and kick a rock, bro.
At least it was a rock.
But I kicked it twice. And I hurt my foot.
Easy.
So I was thinking about you two on the Rams game. Don't think I wasn't. Hey, remember, Jeff, when we had a nationally ranked men's soccer team?
I do.
Man, that was so cool, and I loved the coach. He was great interview. The team was. I was so proud of our institution, you know. And remember when we had the national champion ski team?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh gosh, I was just so proud of all of them, the men and the women on the ski team. They were phenomenal. They were beating people from Europe, and they were just an incredible team. Nationally ranked teams, you know, but we got rid of them.
Had no choice.
And that's always kind of played on my mind there, you know. We had these nationally ranked programs, and we got rid of them.
Now, Dan, they had no choice.
And I know it's a money thing, and it just.
Hey, Dan,
you know,
how many soccer games did you go to?
I'm a local guy. Hey, I love my community. Go Lobos.
Hey, Dan, real quick, that soccer team you're so proud of. How many games did you go to?
Well, I only went to a couple of games because I just financially couldn't. Right. You know, it wasn't something I wanted to spend on. But because I didn't go doesn't mean that I wasn't proud of it.
I agree. I
mean, I've gone to several football games and walked away disappointed, but I continue going because, you know, I love football, man, and I love the environment.
And that's why we're here.
You know, and that's what we're here for. You know, and I you know, like me, I count the days to the bowl game, bro. I don't care who's playing.
Me neither.
I don't care how cold it is. I don't care. I go, man. I suffer through, drink a couple of cups of coffee, hit the bathroom a few times. I mean, I love it. I love it. I was just, I don't know, bro. I was just being the advocate and picking at you guys a little bit, you know?
Dan, thanks for the call, Dan. Like the soccer ski thing, I get it. That it's apples to freaking rocks. Like there's no correlation. Bring back soccer, because you guys are going to fill that stadium, and you're going to that had to happen. It had to happen. It's unfortunate, but that's the way that went. Keep them coming. 505-246-0610. I got a couple lines open for you. We'll get back to your conversation when we return. I know you're real passionate today about Lobo football. Lobo basketball starts tonight. Aggie football going back to a bowl game. Holidays are coming. They're 3 weeks away from Thursday, from Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. Get your car taken care of so that you can focus on the family. My friends over at On the Spot Automotive Detailing will take care of you. They'll get your car cleaned and detailed and looking like brand new. Don't have the time? Don't need the time. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will do it for you wherever and whenever it's convenient. And when they're done, your car looks and it feels and it smells like it was brand new. Remember the day you took it off the lot? It was fun to be in and fun to wash, fun to be and drive. Not to mention they also offer window tint services for your vehicle. Call them at 505-859-2859, 505-859-2859, or book online at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for
Yeah, you said a play done that would attract players.
Yeah, I think ultimately you say, the players' lounge and rooms coming. Ultimately,
What do you mean coming? They just did the weight room.
Yeah,
Isn't
no,
that
the weight room's done. The weight room's done. But ultimately, the thought is, all right, so more people come to the game and you get a better atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. You think they can get some money in this next legislature for that?
That's what they're hoping. They feel that they've got some private money raised, and they're hoping that legislature is going to match it at least 1-to-1, maybe 2-to-1. So that's what their plan is, and I know they're already talking about it.
Okay.
So. All right, man.
All right. Well, thank you.
Appreciate you. So those are the specific. That's a fair question. Totally fair question. That's a good one. Earl, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Earl.
Hey, good morning. So I wanted to talk about the Eagles and the Cowboys, but I'm going to be real quick about this. I'm old. I'm north of 50, and I remember watching Troy Aikman. I remember watching Roger Staubach, and I remember watching Tony Romo drop the snap on his rookie year, and as soon as he dropped that snap, I thought, he's not a closer, he's never going to close, and I was pissed off at the owner. And I thought, why would the owner get us here? Why would he fire that coach that won all the Super Bowls? And unfortunately, I guess I'm somewhat of a bandwagon fan because I started watching the Broncos and the Redskins because I was so frustrated with the owner of the Cowboys. And I've always thought, until we get a new owner, they're never going to have a real good team. But unfortunately, my daughter, who's at college, is dating this Eagles fan, and it was very heated about Eagles versus Cowboys. But I told him, dude, the Eagles are a better team. They're probably going to win. And Prescott is kind of like Tony Romo in that he looks good at times, but he's just never going to close the deal when it matters. That being said, I can't believe the Eagles still have the same kicker. I mean, I think he missed the most kicks in the Super Bowl ever. So I unfortunately think for Eagles that they're relying on their kicker in clutch situations, which, by the way, their one loss happens to be because of their kicker missing a field goal. To me, I don't know. To me, he's the kicker of the Eagles is just another Tony Romo hyped up, and is not capable of closing. And I think that's where it's going. And I think, unfortunately, for the Cowboys, Dak is nothing more than Tony Romo. Looks great at times, but just doesn't perform when it counts. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, guys. I appreciate you taking my call, and you guys have a good one.
Yeah, I said earlier, Dak reminds me a lot of Tony Romo. Really likable, really good stats, puts up good numbers, and just like a half a play away, right?
Yeah.
A half a play away in so many times. When Tony Romo dropped that snap against the Seahawks in the playoffs, I didn't think he wasn't a winner. I just thought he wouldn't hold her. Like, wow. And now you always have your punter out there, right? Kind of holding
a lot of times they do.
All right. Before we go to break, can I give you my winners and losers? Is that all right? Do you have a production for that too? I didn't know if I was waiting for something on that. You do, don't you? You've been killing it. All right. Biggest winners of the weekend. I got number 3 winners. Kind of a cop-out, but I don't even care. I got threes because they're both big. Houston, I mean, the way they won that game, they won because they got a franchise quarterback. The Houston coming back and watching C.J. Stroud come back and win. And Minnesota on the same vein. The way they won and what it meant that kept them in to pull Joshua Dobbs into town on Thursday, run him through one practice, not have him ready to play. Then he comes in and plays and has a game-winning drive and looks the way he did. And if you watch that locker room afterwards, I mean, I got threes at Minnesota and Houston. Number 2 is Kansas City. That's a big win. That was, you look at the biggest games and you look at the biggest winners. And what it means to me, the biggest winners, the biggest games. Kansas City went out and that was huge. That was to go on. That was a big statement game. And number 1 was Philadelphia. This was all about the Eagles and the Cowboys this week. I know I'm leaving the Bengals out of this, and it was tough to leave the Bengals out of my top 3 winners because they're big. But the Eagles holding on to find a way to push back the Cowboys and what it meant. And now I start to think they get in the Cowboys' head a little bit. How are we going to get past them? I thought it was a huge win for Philadelphia. You guys got a problem with those?
Nope.
You're kind of close to where you would be?
Yeah.
All right. Losers on the weekend, Cowboys, number 3. They were so close and what it would have meant. That's a tough way to lose. And I know these are all crossovers, but the games were so big. Number 2, Miami. They got to find a way to beat a team that's considered a contender. They've got to find a way to go out and beat somebody. And I think at some point they're going to start getting in their own heads. Yeah, it's great to beat up on the Patriots and the Broncos and 70-20. But they got to find a way to beat somebody that they're going to have to get through in the playoffs. And they're really, really good against the really, really average. They've got to find a way. And the number one loser to me, and I almost coded them with the Buccaneers, but Atlanta, the way they lost. And not just because of the way they lost, but that kept them out of first place in their division. They're in a winnable division. The Saints win, and Atlanta had that game. How you lose to those two quarterbacks in that situation is one of those that you are going to kick yourself in the backside the whole way, and that might be the game that keeps them out of the playoffs. You good with those? And look, the Buccaneers could have been in there too.
Yeah, I don't feel like second half, Buccaneers led 20-10. They led with under a minute to go. So that's where the frustration is. You couldn't get a defensive stop. But that was just such a wild game where you're looking at all these guys going, man, they just played their tails off. That was an offensive showcase.
All right, final break. When we get back, I got a few more of your correspondence to get into. One says fire Coach Gonzalez. One says don't fire Coach Gonzalez. I mean, this is where the camps are really, really drawing the lines now. Get you everything you need to know as you go through the day, which happens to be opening day for college basketball season. Games all over the place. You can watch hoops. You can watch footy tonight as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. we do research for knowledge of each pet. So you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go out.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Oh, 5-246-0610. Adolph, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Hey, yeah, thanks for taking the call. I was thinking a previous caller indicated that quarterbacks who can't close the deal, obviously referring to Dak Prescott in yesterday's game. And I got to thinking about that with regard to the Cowboys franchise. And and believe me, I remember when they were admitted to the league. I believe that was 1960. And I remember that the quarterbacks for the Cowboys who never closed the deal, and you'll remember these names, Dandy Don Meredith, Greg Morton, Danny White, Tony Romo. And right now, at this point in time, you've got to put Dak Prescott in that mix of quarterback for the Cowboys.
It's interesting.
Now, the two quarterbacks who have closed the deal, you know who they are for the Cowboys.
Well, it's Roger Staubach, and it's Troy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's not to say that Dak can't close the deal, because I remember in John Elway's career, where it wasn't until the last couple of years of his career when he got those rings that basically he had the same moniker placed on him. Can he close the deal?
Until you win.
Okay. Yes. Can you win at the highest level? Okay. Can you shake that off of that albatross around your neck?
Yep. Got to
anyway,
win.
Thanks for taking my call. Right. And believe me, being a Chicago Bears fan, the best quarterback that we ever had, obviously, you've got to go back to Sid Luckman, in the 1940s. Anyway, I'm out.
See, that's even before the Aggies went to back-to-back bowl games. Sid Luckman in the 40s. He's not wrong, though. You had a short, kind of good Jim McMahon. Well, kind of good. I mean, Jim McMahon won a Super Bowl. Jim McMahon was a star. I don't know, Jim McMahon's not the reason they won the Super Bowl. That was the defense. Did Jim McMahon, was he more responsible for their Super Bowl, or Peyton Manning responsible for the Broncos Super Bowl? Which one had less? Oh. Exactly. But they both got rings, don't they?
Yeah.
They're both Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
The Peyton Manning era in Denver was wild because you had how are they doing this offensive year? Wait, how many touchdowns did they just throw?
Yep.
So then when they won the Super Bowl, they're like, whew.
Yeah.
And let's remember, this is all coming off of a seriously injured neck.
Yeah.
The Broncos were not sure that he was going to be anything.
Look, it was injured so bad, the Colts decided to get rid of a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Cut it.
Just done with him. Now, they had Andrew Luck, but still, they had Peyton Manning, who is, I mean, there's no argument, one of the best quarterbacks of this generation, right? And that's how serious that injury was. The Colts just said, yeah, we're done. We'll let him go. All right, let me read these to you before I get out of here. This is on the text line 505. Boy, text line was active today. All right, Lobos, the thing to do is put the excuses aside and win out. Back your coach's word. Question, at what point do you play the guys in your future to get them ready? Well, when you don't have your goals attainable anymore, I would imagine. Right? All right, this is an email from John. Don't fire Gonzalez is what it says in the subject line. Jeff, don't fire Gonzalez and pay a buyout. There's no reason to pay him and a new coach at the same time, even for 1 year. The fact is that aside from a few years with Rocky, this program has never been decent, much less good. If we're up to me, I'd move on. Here we go. I'd move on from the program and stop funding it altogether. I'm so glad, John, it's not up to you. But I know that is never going to happen. With that said, there's no reason to go out after Gonzalez is gone and dump a ton of money into a new coach. We need to be the D1 equivalent of the Isotopes as far as coaching goes. Develop and let them move on to bigger schools and maybe get lucky occasionally and get a good 1 year or two. Facilities-wise, we do not need to invest. We need to keep it up to par and give the kids what they need playing at as a D1 farm team. But it's not up to par. That's the point. It's that if you stay put, everybody else getting better than your subpar. Does that not make sense? If everybody else is...
That makes sense. It's a ridiculous argument. It's a ridiculous thing to say that if it's going to be out there, don't invest. Well, then you're not going to have anyone that develops if you're not investing in it.
Just exist. Because I don't think you should exist.
Then you're not going to have coaches that come in and go to a better place.
Yeah. John, I appreciate you've been a really good contributor. I disagree with your take. What you're saying is, I don't think we should do this, but since you're going to do it, just do it at the bare minimum. And so, who benefits from? Yeah, let's just do it. Yeah, we got a building from the '60s, but we don't need to make it better, and don't bare minimum, because I think we should get rid of it and stop investing, but we're not going to. So, just be crud. It's a bad answer, I think. Ron says underinvested, Jeff. When Hawaii was here a couple of weeks ago, their announcers couldn't stop gushing over the facilities and the fan support on the corner of University and Stadium. It's all relative, isn't it? And how are they doing, by the way? Just asking. But it's all relative. Look, the facilities here, there's worse. I'm not telling you it's the worst in America. The indoor is nice. The new weight room is nice. The locker room's nice. All right, so that was one side. David says, quote, or it says, I'm sorry, this is an email. Hi, Jeff. It's apparent that Coach Gonzalez is already trying to make the case for keeping his job next year. Continuity, stability, blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm going to read this tomorrow since I'm out of time. Basically, he said it's time to move on. Thank you to Danny Gonzalez for being with us today. Appreciate his time on Mondays always. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards off after that. 2 Men on at 4. JJ takes the mic from the pit at 4:30 with UNM women's basketball against Texas Southern. And then we're back tomorrow. And then it's Monday Night Football. And then we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. You guys good with that? Yes. Great production value, DC. Great, just great. Red Zone.
Hey, that's on you guys.
You're a stud.
Let's keep it going.
Adrian, great work. It looks terrific on the TV side. I know it's a big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Have a great call. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.